Flavius Josephus, a renowned Jewish historian of the 1st century, left behind a shocking account before his death, a detailed description of Jesus and his ministry, one that the Church allegedly tried to suppress for centuries. What this document reveals is so groundbreaking that it could reshape everything we know about the historical existence of Christ. Could this letter be the missing link that proves Jesus beyond religious texts? More than just an ancient manuscript, this rare and powerful record offers an unprecedented glimpse into how Jesus was perceived by his own contemporaries. Flavius Josephus was a 1st century Jewish historian whose works remain among the most significant records of ancient Judea. As a former military commander who later wrote under Roman patronage, his accounts provide a rare, external perspective on key historical figures, including Jesus of Nazareth. In Jewish antiquities, Josephus makes a striking mention of Jesus, acknowledging his influence, his wisdom, and the devotion of his followers. Considering that Josephus was not a Christian, this reference holds immense historical weight, offering an independent testimony to Jesus' existence and impact. His writings also reveal how Jesus' movement persisted despite persecution, with disciples who refused to abandon his teachings even in the face of death. Josephus observed that Jesus was not merely a preacher but someone whose words and actions shook the foundations of society. His accounts allow us to glimpse Jesus through the eyes of a contemporary, someone neither seeking to glorify nor diminish him, just recording history as it unfolded. And now, you are about to hear this letter in full. Get ready to witness Josephus' remarkable description of Jesus.
Greetings, my brothers. I write to you from Rome, where news and rumors from our land have reached us with great intensity. Much is spoken of Jesus of Nazareth, the one who, as you know, walked among us a few decades ago. I wish to share with you not only what I have heard from various sources but also what I have seen and witnessed regarding this man, whom so many consider a prophet, others a teacher, and some even the promised Messiah. Jesus was a man of simple appearance, yet his presence was captivating. In the streets and synagogues, he spoke with an authority uncommon among our teachers. His words carried wisdom, and many said he taught with the clarity and power of the ancient prophets. I remember hearing his strong yet gentle voice, speaking words that touched the hearts of the humble and challenged the learned. Crowds followed him, thirsty for hope and healing. His fame spread throughout Galilee, and many were drawn by reports of his miracles. Blind men seeing, the lame walking, lepers cleansed, and even the dead, some say, being brought back to life. I know that many among us, Pharisees and Sadducees, viewed him with suspicion, for he challenged traditions and openly confronted the hypocrisy of some of our leaders. Yet, I cannot deny that the people loved him. He spoke of a kingdom of God that was not of this world, of a Father who welcomed all and called sinners to repentance and reconciliation. During the Passover festival, tensions rose. I was in Jerusalem when I heard of his triumphant entry into the city, riding on a donkey as the crowds hailed him as the Son of David, the Messiah. This enraged the priests and temple leaders, who feared his growing influence. Some expected him to lead a revolt against the Romans, but Jesus seemed more interested in transforming hearts than ruling by the sword. Soon after, I heard of the betrayal by one of his own disciples, Judas, and how he was arrested, brought before the Sanhedrin, and handed over to Pontius Pilate. The charge: blasphemy and political agitation. I learned that he was scourged, mocked, and finally sentenced to crucifixion, the most shameful punishment reserved for criminals. Many of us believed that with his death, his message would disappear. But, as you well know, that was not what happened. After his execution, rumors and testimonies emerged that Jesus had risen from the dead. Some claimed to have seen the empty tomb. Others insisted they had seen and spoken with him. Some even said he ascended to the heavens before his followers. The truth, my brothers, is that his disciples, those simple men and women, fishermen and tax collectors, became fearless leaders, proclaiming his words with fervor and without fear. Rome, as always, is a center of rumors and speculation. Many speak of his followers as dangerous sects, yet I see that despite persecution and imprisonment, they remain steadfast. It seems that something within them compels them to continue, even in the face of death. Know that I do not write to judge or endorse, but merely to report what I see and hear. This man from Nazareth, whoever he may be, has left a profound mark on our history. Even here, in the heart of the empire, his name is spoken with a mixture of fear, respect, and hatred. Whatever the case, may the Most High guide us to the truth, and may we understand the times we live in with wisdom and discernment. May peace and justice be our guide, and may the light of the Torah continue to illuminate our path. Years ago, I returned to our land, driven by the desire to understand more about the one who so many claim shook the foundations of Israel. I traveled to Nazareth, the small village where Jesus grew up. There, I met some of his relatives, humble people who guarded their memories of Miriam's son with pride but also with great discretion. His mother, Miriam, known as Mary among the Greeks, was already elderly but spoke with serenity and wisdom. She welcomed me kindly and shared stories of Jesus' childhood. She told me that from a very young age, he displayed an extraordinary understanding of the scriptures. Miriam recounted an event in Jerusalem when Jesus, still a child, was found in the temple conversing with the teachers of the law, who marveled at his wisdom. He had a light in his eyes, she said, a light that never faded, even in the darkest moments. I also spoke with some of his brothers. James, known as the Just, left a deep impression on me. A man of great character and devotion, he led the Jewish Christian community in Jerusalem. James spoke of his brother with a mix of admiration and sorrow. He admitted that at first, the family struggled to understand Jesus' mission. What once seemed like madness and boldness gradually revealed itself as a divine calling. James confessed that during Jesus' lifetime, many in the family doubted him. But after his death, James was among those who, according to reports, saw the risen Jesus and spoke with him. It was eye-opening. These were not men seeking fame or wealth. They were simple workers, yet they spoke of Jesus with solemn respect, as if he had been more than just a brother or son. One of the most intriguing figures I met was Mary Magdalene, one of his most devoted followers. Stories about her past varied, but all agreed that she had been profoundly transformed by Jesus. She told me how she found the empty tomb and how she was the first to see him after the resurrection. She spoke with deep emotion and tears in her eyes, describing Jesus as the one who gave her life meaning and led her to redemption and hope. I then traveled through Galilee, Judea, and even beyond the Jordan, where his disciples continued spreading his message. I met Peter, Simon, the fisherman from the Sea of Galilee, and his brother Andrew. These were simple, rugged men, yet their eyes burned with conviction. Peter told me about the miracles he had witnessed: walking on water, the multiplication of loaves and fish, healings and exorcisms. He spoke with an unshakable certainty that I had rarely seen in men. I also met John, a man who seemed to have a deep emotional connection to the Nazarene. He told me about the Last Supper, Judas' betrayal, and how they all fled when Jesus was arrested. His voice trembled as he described the crucifixion, saying that the darkness that covered the land that day also mirrored the darkness in their hearts. Upon returning to Rome, I witnessed a growing community of those who call themselves Christians. They are persecuted and despised, yet they possess an inner strength that seems to come from something beyond themselves. I do not seek to persuade you to believe what I have written, but I want you to know what I have seen and heard. Whether Jesus was a prophet, a teacher, or something more, he has changed the course of history. May the Most High guide us in our search. May the peace of the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob be with you, and may he grant us wisdom to discern the times we live in with reverence and devotion. Flavius Josephus, historian and servant of our people.
Even after his death, the influence of Jesus of Nazareth only grew stronger, spreading far beyond the borders of Judea. Flavius Josephus, writing from Rome, observed how his followers refused to abandon their faith, even in the face of brutal persecution. Unlike many movements that fade when their leader is gone, the message of Jesus ignited an unshakable conviction in those who believed in him. The very empire that sought to suppress his teachings would, centuries later, be transformed by them. What kind of person leaves such a mark on history? Josephus described Jesus as a man whose words had the power to inspire and challenge, a teacher who captivated both the simple and the wise. His life was not just a series of events, it was a catalyst for a global movement. Even without an earthly throne, he spoke of a kingdom that transcended political powers, a message that resonated so deeply that people were willing to die rather than deny him. Have you ever wondered why his name still carries such weight today? The fact that a non-Christian historian like Josephus recorded Jesus' life, his miracles, and his unwavering followers adds a powerful dimension to his historical credibility. This isn't about legend or religious sentiment alone, it's about undeniable influence. If his impact was already undeniable in the first century, what does that say about the way his words continue to shape lives today? Even here, in our modern world, we see echoes of the same devotion Josephus witnessed. How many people, throughout history, have risked everything just to follow his teachings? How many have been willing to face opposition, rejection, and even death to proclaim his name? The question is no longer whether Jesus existed, the question is, what will you do with this truth? Josephus' letter is more than just a historical account, it is a glimpse into the extraordinary legacy of a man who changed the course of history. And if his message had the power to endure through empires, wars, and centuries, what could it mean for your life today? Up next, we'll connect everything we've explored, so stay with us as we dive deeper into this incredible story. The letter of Flavius Josephus is more than just an ancient document, it's a window into the historical reality of Jesus, written by someone who lived in his time. His account confirms what countless people have believed for centuries, that Jesus was no ordinary man. But now, the question is yours to answer, what does this testimony mean for you? If you want to dive even deeper into the life, teachings, and historical evidence surrounding Jesus, check out the ebook linked in the first pinned comment. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss content like this. See you in the next video.